Hi friends, it's Sarah, the owner and maker behind Multifarious Nature. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you are a new viewer, welcome, and if you're a returning viewer, a big welcome back. I'm glad you guys are here for another episode. And get my timer started. All right. So for shop update end of things, still working on those Suffolk bats. I know, I feel like a broken record. I'm staring at it right now. I've got Suffolk everywhere, and working on that. I have not forgotten about it, and it will be done. It will be at some point. Make sure my microphone was on. All right. Got my lemonade here. All right. More shop update end of things. I think that's pretty much it for the shop update. I'm still working on it, so it's coming in the near future. Thank you for your patience. Make sure you're a newsletter subscriber, though, if you do want to be the first to find out about it, because I don't want you to miss out. All of my spinning collection, like hand spinning collection bats, are limited run because I just take a fleece, process it, and sometimes I might, because in the near future here I'll be doing some where I'm blending things. It will literally just be whatever that fleece size is, and that is what controls the amount of bats I have. Some fleeces are 10 pounds, some are less than that. So that kind of can give you a gauge. And then I usually lose about 25% or so in processing or more, depending on how dirty the fleece was. So you kind of have to keep that in mind. I do still have some Dorset horn in the shop if you're looking for that. And then I do have some other Suffolk. It's a cream colored Suffolk in the shop. So if you are interested in that, definitely check that out. All right. And then we'll get into works in progress, and I've got all kinds of works in progress. And then we'll talk about spinning stuff, tour de fleece. So if you're interested in hand spinning, I'll talk about that a little bit. And some plans coming up with that. I'm absolutely loving it. And then we'll do life update, kind of per typical order. So, how are you guys? Are you doing well? I hope you're doing well. I just had another little cappuccino, probably a mistake. It's 5 p.m. here, Eastern. And yeah, hopefully that won't keep me up all night, but I needed it. And I'll get into a little more of that in the life update end of things. But I've had an interesting couple days here. But anyway, all is good. So we will first talk about the Freyr test knit. So this is for Knitting Traditions, Inga of Knitting Traditions. I am using my hand-dyed yarn from Multifarious Nature, and it is the Cranberry colorway, which I absolutely love. It's so pretty. I feel like this is a colorway that will complement a lot of people, a lot of just different skin tones. It's definitely a warmer color, but then it's kind of cool at the same time. I don't know. It's really beautiful. I love this pattern. So if you guys can see, hopefully you can, the cabling that's going on here. I apologize, in the last video it was totally blurred out, but hopefully you can see that. And now I am working on the cabling down the bottom, and I still have a bit more to do, and I'm going to try to stick with the pattern, and I'll try it on. If I want to make it a little bit longer, I'm going to do that. I think Inga's okay with that. I think it's important just to note if I made it longer so that she knows the amount of wool and everything that it took. But really loving this test knit. It's a lot of fun, and it's this beautifully drapey. This is a 6-ply, 100% superwash merino base, and it's super drapey. This is the summer version. I think once I finish the body, the sleeves are going to be really fast, because I think it's probably just going to be a little bit of stockinette, and then it will go right into that cuff, the ribbing of the cuff. So be really easy. The pattern's a lot of fun because not only does it have that cabling in the raglan area here, it also has it down the body and down the sides of the body and under the sleeve. So it's really nice. It all matches up. I'm gonna hold this so you guys can see it. But it's just so pretty. So pretty. Hopefully you can see that. It's hard to tell, but try to keep my face out of the frame so it focuses. But yeah, I'm really enjoying that, and that's something I've been working on in the evenings mostly. And then I've also been hand spinning every day. That's part of my goal. For Tour de Fleece, my goal was to spin for at least 15 minutes a day. And some days I've done more, some days I've done 15 minutes at least. So here we go. All right, the other work in progress that I've been working on just a little bit is this one. And this is, because I'm well over 500 stitches now, it's slow and steady. Like literally I get maybe 2 rows done on my lunch break. So my progress is pretty ridiculous. You probably can't even tell. So this is my, basically like a sampler. It is the Fascination Shawl by Ruby and Rose's Designs. And I am using my True North Advent by Melly Knits. It was a hand spun Advent, so basically each colorway was a little poof of yarn, a little mini teeny tiny bat, and then yeah, spin it up, and then I can knit with it, and it's a lot of fun. I absolutely love it. So I'm currently working with that other one still, the dark like black here at the bottom, and enjoying that. It's kind of like kind of a garter stitch sort of patterning going on, and it's just really fun. But I don't know if you can kind of get an idea here, but this is huge. Like this is a 40, I think it's a 40-inch, 47-inch, it might be a 50-inch cable. I don't think it is though. I think it's a 40-inch cable, and it's just packed. It's packed with these stitches because we're at 500. So really cozy, a little bit rough to work on outside when it's over 80 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, I don't mind working with woolly wools when it's hot out, but I don't really want a blanket that's on my lap because that does make me really hot. So, and we'll get into that a little in the life update end of things. So anyway, working on that here and there, but very sporadically. Definitely working more on my hand spinning. And I wanted to show you guys my finished first skein for my hand spinning, but I didn't finish it. And that is because I wasn't feeling very well. So my goal was to have it plied up and washed so that today I could show you guys at least my first skein finished, which to me would be a huge feat. That would be less than a week I've finished a skein. To me, that's really, really big. I am a slow spinner, and I love seeing all of the wonderful people. So I'm part of Melly Knits. This is kind of, yeah, we're working into this. This is kind of my works in progress. Part of Melly Knits Stash Dashers team on Stash Dashers on Instagram, and she's also doing YouTubes. So if you are interested in joining, I think you can join at any time. You just won't be part of the cabanas, which are like the little mini group teams that you can have for chatting on Instagram. I love it. My cabana is Cabana 19, and they're awesome. They're so sweet. We're all so supportive of each other, and it's really fun. It's super fun to see what everybody's up to and seeing all the yarn. And I tell you what, some of these ladies and gentlemen, I know we have at least one gentleman in our team, and oh my gosh, so fast. I feel like I am the slowest spinner in the world. Like there are people finishing skeins in 2 days, and it's super impressive. They must have the time, or they are extremely fast spinners. I don't know. But they're definitely more proficient than I am, that's for sure. So I started with it is a Lazy Dog Fiber Arts. They're it's like a roving ball, and it's 75% Romney Lamb Miri and 20% Surrey Alpaca and 5% silk. And I wanted to start spinning it directly like that, and I very quickly found, after battling the daylights out of it, like, I mean, my hands were starting to hurt because I was like fighting with it, is that I need to change the prep because it was felted a little bit. And it's no fault to them. I think it's literally because of the way it was stored, not only through the show setup and everything probably, but also I've had it for over a year. So for me moving it around, I probably slightly felted it on the outside. So yeah, so what I did is I undid it, and I just made roll eggs with my hand carders, and that worked really, really well. So I just went through and did a bunch of those, and then I spun it up, and I did short forward with a twist, and then I did a little bit of long draw, but it was primarily like short forward with a twist. It's the style of spinning that I was doing. And there's lots of videos out there to explain how to do that. I am not an expert, but that's what I'm learning it's called. Short forward with a twist. So like when I do the short forward where I just pull a little fiber out, I release the fiber, and instead of smoothing it back, I let the twist go into the fiber supply, if that makes sense. And so that gives it more of that kind of woolen prep without doing long draw. Like pure long draw is like the best way to get like super woolen prep. And I love long draw, but I kind of wanted to try that supported short forward. So, or short forward with a twist. And yeah, so that's been fun. I currently finished spinning it. I am plying it. I'm doing a chain ply, and I literally have like a couple yards left to chain ply. So it's very frustrating. My bobbin is packed right now. Like it's one of those things where I'm looking at it and I'm like, gosh, can I get it all on there? There's just not a lot left on the bobbin to justify doing a whole separate bobbin, but I might do it. I don't want to, but I might, just because I don't think it's going to fit on that one. Isn't that, it's so frustrating when there's like this much room left on the bobbin, like it's like this much, and I just don't think it's going to fit. But I love the way it's looking, and I'm really excited to wash it and then show you guys that finished product, and then also share it on Stash Dashers, which I'm really excited about. I'm so glad that I did it. I was really debating, like, do I want to do this? Do I want to sign up for something? It's nerve-wracking. Life is very busy, as it is for many, and I'm thinking, do I really want to sign up just for Stash Dashers and spin every single day? Like, how am I going to have that time? But yes, every day from July 5th until July 27th, basically during Tour de France, you are doing the Tour de Fleece, and it's like we are spinning as they're pedaling, if that makes sense. I don't do the rest days or anything. My goal is just to do it every single day if I can, and like I said, 15 minutes a day. To me, that was very feasible to do, and I've been pretty good about it. However, like I said, yesterday I did get progress, don't get me wrong, I did get progress, but I was not feeling well. So I'll get into that in a moment. But I'm just saying, it's a learning curve to share with you guys because it's a public service announcement that I'll share. All right, but the next one I'm going to be spinning, because I am, like I said, I am almost done plying that up. And once that's done, I'm going to get spinning again. So the next one I'm going to be spinning is by the wonderful dyer behind Deep Dyed Yarns. It's her Merino top. And I am holding it though. So it's pure Merino, and I'm not a big pure Merino fan. Nothing against it. It's just that it tends to pill, and I don't really know what I would make with it that would be resilient enough that it would be resilient enough. Like if I am going to make sock yarn, that's going to pill and wear a hole in it really fast. If I use it in a sweater, it will pill fast, and again, same problem. So what I'm doing is I'm blending it with a Romney. So this is a Romney floof. It's like, I think it's 8 ounces, 8-ounce ball, 8 to 10 ounce. I think it could be a 10 ounce. There's this wonderful fiber prep artist out of Michigan Fiber Festival. I'm really bummed that she retired. Last year was her last and final year for Michigan Fiber Festival. And I was bummed. However, I got a great deal. So she had an amazing deal on her fiber. So I picked up this, and then I picked up some other things from her. But I'm really pumped. So I took this, and this is what I have left because I already took off what I'm going to use. So I'd say there's probably at least 4 ounces left. And then, so this is the braid. So the braid from the gray is the Romney I just showed you. And then this is the braid from Deep Dyed Yarns. It's this beautiful, looks like fire. It's so pretty. There's some purples, reds, orange. It reminds me of fall. I think it's so beautiful. And I'm going to hold it with that, and I'm just going to like, I'm not going to card this, I don't think. I mean, I might if I have to, but my goal is to try to just hold them together like this. And then as I am doing probably short forward, I'll probably do the similar style short forward with a twist, or I'll do long draw. but we'll see. It just depends on how smooth of a process it is. But the way I did it is I took my big braid and I just divided it in half. And it worked so well because of the way she dyed it. It's actually like beautifully dyed, so it's the same on each side basically for the most part. So I just took the whole long braid, split it in half because both sides were like next to each other when they were dyed. And then I'm going to spin them up separate. And then I'm going to ply them together and do a 2-ply. So instead of a 3-ply, we're going to do a 2-ply, and I'm really excited. They're so pretty. It's just beautiful. And this beautiful Romney is a nice long staple length, and it's very strong, super durable. So taking something like Merino that's super soft and easily pills, mixing it with that Romney, I think is going to make it more durable. Pretty excited about that. So that is the next spin that I'm going to do. And I have enough of this that I might also then hold that with this. I mean, I could do other things with this too. This is her other merino top that I would love to spin. If I can do what I've been doing, if I can get one spin, like one spin done a week, that would be awesome, because then I get at least 3 skeins of yarn, and to me, that's a lot of success of getting into my stash, but we'll see. I also have this one that I would love to do. I have a couple. This one I've had for a while. It is, sorry about the noise, but it's this beautiful alpaca. It's mostly alpaca. There's a few other things in there, but it's primarily alpaca, and I think there's a little bit of tinsel in there and everything. I hand spun this on its own as one of the, I think it's the second thing I ever spun. It was a green and like brown warmer one. I made socks out of it. Big mistake. Socks were super soft. However, I wore right through the toe. So that was a bummer. So I do need to mix something with that to make it more durable. And then I also have this too, fin wool. It's 100% fin. And it's super beautiful. Got that too. I could mix that with something. But yeah, I don't know. But I also have a wonderful supply of Shetland wool that I could mix with the alpaca, and the Shetland would definitely add strength. So I might do that. It would actually add some warmth to it as well, because right now it's kind of a cool color. We will see. We will see. Yes, but as I mentioned, this is another one I got from Deep Dyed Yarns. I bought them like all at the same time. I went a little nuts in her booth. This was like a couple years ago. And I got this yak silk. This was a big investment. And I haven't spun it yet because it was a very big investment. I'm trying to be less precious about these things, but yeah, I just want to not muddy the tarnations out of this. I want it to look really beautiful in separate colors, the most separate as I can. All right, so I've got about 10 minutes left. Did I show you guys this washed? I don't think I did. I think I showed you the first 2. So these are the samples from my Braids school study that I'm doing right now. For Sheep Spot, I signed up for the year-long Braid study Breed School. There we go. And we're doing Rambouillet first for the month of July. And my favorite, so the way I'm doing it is I just star my favorite of all of them, so that way I know which one I'd like to, because here's the rest. So this is the rest of the Rambouillet. I just did the sampling, and that supported. The short forward with a twist is my favorite out of all of them. So we've got the long draw, the short forward, and the short forward with a twist. I'm trying not to sneeze, but I got a tickle in my nose. Okay. Yeah, short forward with the twist, I think turned out amazing. You guys can see that nice bounce back. Oh, it's just beautiful. So I love a lot of them. I really do like them, but we do have to think about like what we enjoyed spinning the most and the result. And I feel like this one, I loved spinning this, and the result I love the result. So I feel like that one for me is my favorite, the short forward with a twist. I think the teacher's favorite was the short forward, which obviously is a very similar technique. So yeah, definitely enjoyed that. All right. I think that's it for works in progress, all the good stuff. Okay, life update. So I'm okay, but as I mentioned, I wasn't feeling very well. And this is going to be a public service announcement. So for those of you that need to hear this, and this is also so that I hear it again, because apparently I need to hear it. It's pretty ridiculous that I need to hear it again, but I'm going to say it. As I mentioned, it's been pretty hot here. Well over 80 degrees Fahrenheit, getting close to the heat index of 90 and above Fahrenheit, which is pretty hot. You know, it is. It's pretty hot. And then when you add humidity, that really messes with you. But anyway, you think you can acclimate to those kind of things, and you can. Now, the biggest thing is taking care of yourself, making sure you drink water. And I say this because when I was in high school, I'm pretty sure I was in high school or just before high school. I was pretty young. We went to the beach, no big deal. I fell asleep on the beach, and the long and short of it, I ended up with heat exhaustion. I had 102 fever. It was not good, but I was okay. My mom was able to help me like regulate and get my temperature down, and I was okay. But that being said, once you get heat exhaustion, it's very easy for you to get it again. And it really is dangerous because for those of you that aren't familiar, heat exhaustion is the precursor to heat stroke. You usually get heat exhaustion, and then by neglecting that, it can escalate to heat stroke. And the biggest issue is that heat exhaustion you can treat at home. Like, you, as long as you can get your temperature down and you can get yourself to start cooling, that is key, because what's happening is your body is not regulating anymore. I have a very hard time regulating my temperature, and I get uncomfortable really fast when it gets really hot outside. And I mean, sure, I have issues in the winter, but it's the summer that is brutal for me. And I'll get really uncomfortable very quickly. I'll get flush. My face will get flush. And the long and short of it was Tuesday night, I was working on a little project outside. I should have, I shouldn't be saying should, but I am. Should have brought water outside with me while I was working, because this project, instead of taking 5 minutes that I thought it would take, took a lot longer. I was basically relocating a portable fence that we have, it's electric fence for the sheep, into another part of the exterior pasture area so that they could get more greenery, because frankly their pasture has been eaten quite a bit and we just have not gotten any rain. It's been basically drought-like here. Yeah, our neighbor's pond has, it's crazy. So yeah, so they needed greenery, so I decided to do that, which is totally logical and not crazy. However, when you put out those temporary fences, you have to constantly adjust it so that you get the electric wires all in place so that you will have conductivity and everything will be good. Well, to do that, I had to keep adjusting, moving grass and everything. So I'm going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it's really hot. It was very high 80s, and then you also had the humidity, and I was going up and down. I was sweating. I was sweating profusely. It's disturbing. This might be TMI for people, but I'm just saying, like, I was sweating so bad. It was dripping. Like, literally, I was bending down to move stuff, and a drip of sweat would land on my arm. Like, that's how bad I was sweating, and I don't normally sweat that much. So it was excessive, and I could feel my face throbbing. My face was bright red. So this is also an indicator. I mean, most people kind of get this way, but for me, that's an indicator for myself. When I start getting that redness in my face where it's like a throbbing, and I feel it like when I go up and down, it's like this blood rush and everything, and lightheadedness, is that is my indicator I should go inside, like out of the heat. For me at this point, shade is not good enough. I actually need to go into air conditioning and start drinking water. Frankly, any water is better than nothing, but if you can add ice into it, that's even better. Having like a popsicle or something like that, again, really good idea. You want to stay away from the sugar as much as possible, but really making sure that you're hydrating. And if you can add a little like Himalayan salt or some pink salt in there or something, get yourself hydrated. I did not do that. I just kept going. Apparently, I thought that was a good idea at the time. And it's just one of those things where you get into a project and it sucks you in. And again, I'm making this really long-winded story, but I'm doing it because it's important, because I put myself in a very dangerous situation. I am okay. By the grace of God, I am okay, but it could have been really bad. And the reason I say that is because I was okay Tuesday night. I was hot and I was very thirsty. I was constantly drinking water, and I thought that the water that I drank after I came inside was enough to cool me down and I would be okay. That was not the case, because when I woke up Wednesday morning, so the next day, it was very bizarre. I usually rotate around in my bed maybe once or twice throughout the night, or more depending on the day. I don't remember moving at all in the middle of the night. Again, not a big deal. However, when my alarm went off and I opened my eyes, it was a very alarming experience. The room was moving and I was not. And I was extremely nauseous, very dizzy. I kind of slowly made my way into the bathroom. I thought for sure I was going to lose anything that was in my stomach. I did not. However, I basically sat on the floor. Luckily, I did have a water in the bathroom there, so I was sipping on that. And I just sat there on the floor with both hands on the floor because, again, my world was spinning around me. And I knew I had to get the sheep out. Like, I knew I had to do certain things. We have 2 dogs. I needed to let them out. But I was trying to figure out like how I was going to get to the door to let them out. You know, like just get up and walk to the door. This is, you know what I mean? Like, this is crazy. So safe to say, I realized if I can barely walk, I should not be driving. Like, the world is moving around me. That would be very dangerous. So I did call into work, and I just really wanted to do this public service announcement because I think it's important as a reminder, as we do in certain parts of the world right now reach very warm temperatures. You need to make sure you're drinking water. It's one of those things, we're so fortunate that we have water easily accessible. I literally was just, 5-minute walk from my house. Our property is a decent size. So, I would have had to walk, but it's not that far. And I could have gotten that water. I could have kept myself cool, and you need to take heat breaks. And it's just one of those things you got to do. And it's hard when you're doing projects. Like, I get that, but it's so incredibly dangerous because heat stroke, if it's not treated in a hospital setting, you can overheat and die. It's a very serious problem. So just saying. I'll get off my soapbox, but I felt the need to share because I feel like I am a pretty conscious person about my health. I feel like I'm a pretty aware person when it comes to trying to take care of myself. And yet, I put myself in a dangerous situation because I was at home by myself. My husband's at work. And at this point, as long as I could call the hospital, like call an ambulance, 911, I could do that. But that's what I'm saying. It's just, it was really dangerous. So take care of yourselves, you guys. Stay hydrated, stay cool. It's so important. Anyway, so I think that's it. I think we are wrapping it up here. I'm trying to think if I have anything else I want to share other than what I did. I think that's it. Well, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. I hope you stay hydrated. Take care of yourself. And I hope you do join Tour of the Fleece if you are interested in spinning at all. Anything like that. And again, make sure you subscribe to the newsletter if you want to find out about the latest in the shop. I will be adding things. It's just a slow and steady climb. I did get a bunch of bats done last week, so I'm really hoping that I can get the rest done here in the coming weeks. It might take another 2 weeks, and actually it might take 3 weeks because we're going to be having family visiting in a week, so it might be a couple weeks. Bear with me. My dog is losing her marbles, apparently. But yes, that is it. I'm going to turn off my timer here, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week and that you take care. Bye.